The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, released in 2008 and is directed by Mark Herman, who is also behind such films like Blame It on the Bellboy, Brassed Off, Little Voice, Purely Belter, and Hope Springs. And this film is starring Vera Farmiga, David Thewlis, Jack Scanion, Amber Beatty, Rupert Friend, David Heyman, and a very young Asa Butterfield, who plays our main character and our protagonist, an adorable little child, but the entire time watching this movie I kept thinking about him in Sex Education. And like his O-face. So watching that and then watching this, it's wow, we come a long way as actors when we progress in our career. And the reason why we're talking about The Boy in the Striped Pajamas today is because it was a PayPal recommendation and donation from one of my contributors and supporters of this channel, James Filbury. Thank you very much. I believe you sent this in a while ago with a whole bunch of other recommendations, and I'll be honest, I think I missed it, so I deeply apologize, but I'm getting it out of the way here at the very beginning of 2023, and what a film. What a recommendation. One that I feel like I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting. Like, I was expecting this to be about a certain subject, and I feel like whenever it's about a certain subject like that, I'm always just unprepared for the emotional weight that the situation and this topic of the Holocaust can have on everyone. And the fact that there are idiots in the world who think that it never happened and that it was all propaganda, that just angers me like crazy. So stories like this, I think, are definitely needed to keep the history and the knowledge of the Holocaust alive, even though I think this film got some backlash for it not being completely accurate when it comes to, like, the actual setting and this camp that they were in. But I feel that the spirit and the message of these things actually happened. A camp like this, many camps like this, actually did exist, and the plan of Nazi Germany, or at least the Nazis in Germany, let me put it that way, was to eradicate an entire people. Just wipe them off the planet, because that's where all the blame for winning the Great War was coming from. And there are other things, but mainly the main gist was they were being blamed for all of Germany's shortcomings, so certain people in higher positions during this time were like, you know what, let's get rid of them, that'll fix the problem. It's sick, it's disgusting, hopefully it'll never happen again, but we humans, we're kind of experts at genocide, and we're kind of experts at violence. If you look back all through human history, we do this every once in a while, right? So I won't say that something like this will never happen again, but as long as we keep educating younger people about what happened back in World War II and this whole situation that was going on, I think it'll postpone the next genocidal thing that some crazy mad person will get, many decades down the line. Bruno is an 8-year-old German boy who is the son of a high-ranking commandant in Nazi Germany, and his whole family ups and moves to a house in the countryside where he believes that they are set up next to a big gigantic farm. But Bruno is told that he cannot go outside the compound of his house, so what does an 8-year-old boy do? Well, of course they explore outside the compound of their house, where he comes across a strange-looking little boy on the other side of a barbed wire fence, and they begin a sweet, loving relationship with each other. I would also assume that the song in Encanto was based on this movie. We don't talk about Bruno. Let's just stop talking about Bruno, shall we? No, we have to talk about Bruno. He's our main protagonist. He's the main character in this film. This movie is one of the examples that put Asa Butterfield on the map in terms of child actors, or like next up and coming actors once they come of age. Isn't it annoying when an 8-year-old kid has way more acting talent than someone that has been training for like decades and is in like their 50s and they still can't catch a gig, and then here's this little boy who's just so freaking goddamn talented. He manages to capture the innocence of this little boy. When you think of Nazi Germany, at least when you're over here in the States, you think of evilness, and you think of violence and harshness and absolutely no love at all. But here is a little boy who is growing up in a Nazi family, and he has so much love, and he has so much wonder for everything, for his dad, for his mom, for his sister, for his country, at least the country that he's being told about, and what a lot of people in Germany at the time were being told about, because they were trying to pull the blind lines over everyone as to exactly what they were doing, and he plays this character so innocently. He has this sense of wonder that every 8-year-old kid should have. He wants to go out and explore. He doesn't want to be confined into this fenced-in house. He wants to go out. He wants to go into the woods. He wants to get dirty. He wants to learn by exploring. And the parents and everyone in this household keeps trying to repress this kid and trying to say, no, just study this stuff. Study the things that we want you to study. Read the books that we want you to read. Don't fill your head with all these adventure books. Stop doing that. There is no world outside of the fatherland. There's no world outside of Nazi Germany. But this Bruno kid, he's so smart. He knows that there is, and he just wants to see it, and he wants to understand it. That's why his young little brain can't comprehend what is going on to Shmuel, who's on the other side of the fence. Once he meets them, he thinks he's working on a farm somewhere, and this electric fence is to keep all the animals in for some reason. And to see their relationship grow, get shattered, and then get rekindled again, and to see where it finally goes in the final act, it's heartbreaking. It's a disgusting tragedy. I kind of wanted to say it was beautiful, but there's really nothing beautiful about it in what happened in real life to millions of Jews and millions of people who were caught in these concentration camps. There's nothing beautiful about it. It's just gruesome. It's disgusting. It's so freaking goddamn sad. And then to see the revelation behind David Thewlis, who I think is great in this movie, he's taking on the role of someone who is overseeing the eradication of an entire people, but you can kind of see a little warmness behind him. And he says that he's doing it for the right thing, but you do see a little glimmer in his eye of, yes, this is probably the wrong thing to do, but I'm going to do it anyway because I took an oath. So to see him go throughout this movie with one mindset, and then to see something happen to his own family, to where he realizes that this entire thing is wrong. It's a very gratifying ending, I'll say. Again, I'm trying to avoid using the word beautiful because there's nothing beautiful about this situation. But I do like the liberties that this film took in changing it from the actual book that this film was based on. I know the book takes a little bit longer time and there are years past once the tragedy happens. Then the book concludes. Here it just concludes when the tragedy happens. And we just pan out and we see all the shirts and pants and shoes and hats just strewn about, representing the millions of people who were eradicated and erased by this stupid goddamn decision that someone in higher-ups made back in the 1940s. This was a really nice film to watch up until that ending, and then after that ending, I don't know how much rewatchability there is to this film. I don't have any craving to go back and watch it just because it's so hard to watch, but it doesn't take away from the excellent performances that we get from David Thewlis, Asa Butterfield, Vera Farmiga, who I think is great in this film. It's an overall stellar picture, and what a recommendation, James Philbree. I'm sorry that I missed it when you originally sent it over, and I'm glad I finally checked it out. This was excellent. I'm gonna give The Boy in the Striped Pajamas 4.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
So guys, if you've seen The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so you know the next time I'm releasing my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.